stop till I wear the crown. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till
Listen, cut the music. Is this working? Is this thing on? Thank you. What's up, everybody? It's me, your boy, Tantalizer, one here with my boy, my brother from another mother. He is pale and pasteurized, and I am caramel and solidified. This is Anthony Blackwell Jr. with the best hair on the channel.
Let's not forget, though, I'm way blacker than you.
That might be true. 'Cause I can't dance. True story. What's up, bro? Well, first of all, thanks for coming last minute. You know that we weren't doing a show today. And I just said, you know, what the hell? You know?
That's what I do, man. Least favorite, most reliable, you know?
Least favorite, most... I don't know. Look,
the chat knows. The chat knows.
No, are we going in popularity? Let's see. So who's the most popular on the channel, honestly?
You.
No, Graves. No, Graves.
Yeah, Graves.
And then I get second.
Yeah.
Right?
Then Ricky.
No, I think that you and Ricky dead tie. It's
I think he inches me out.
You think so?
Yeah. I have really hot takes, you know what I mean? And I tell people their takes are stupid. I'm a little abrasive. That's why I think maybe I'm not the favorite amongst the chat, you know?
Who cares? Listen, first of all, your hot takes, I love that you don't agree with everything. That's the best part of the show, not agreeing, because I know that you're wrong and I'm right, so we can argue back and forth.
Well, I'm usually never wrong. That's the problem, too. That's the worst about being the guy who's always right, is when he's right and he rubs it in your face. You know what I mean?
Listen. Let me explain something to you, bro. We're going to see, okay? We're going to talk about, we just so you guys know, we have
Elise Osborne, ABJ, a solid third.
Solid third, ABJ.
At least she's honest.
Shout out to all of our wrestling podcasts had a great show today.
I did not chance to see it yet. I did not chance to see it.
On the replay, that's the great thing about YouTube. You can watch a replay, give them the views there. They had a great show today talking about was Ric Flair the GOAT?
For his era, sure.
You think so?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, here's the thing: when people say they're GOAT, right? Wrestling is something, anything, sports. The world is always evolving, and I think for you to take just one guy and say he eclipses every generation, it's hard to do, because my generation's like, listen, Jordan's the GOAT, but you may talk to a kid who'd never even seen Jordan, but thinks LeBron's the GOAT. You know what I mean? It's how that person affected you during their time. I have a hard time saying Flair's the GOAT of WWE because most of his GOAT work was WCW, NWA.
Okay. Listen, I won't argue with you. My thing was this, is that, and they made a good point, that it depends on what area you grew up in and what your perception of the GOAT is. You know, like to me, box office means a lot, you know, and also mainstream. To me, mainstream is huge for me. And Hogan, I hate to say it, man. I hate Hulk Hogan. Guys, if you didn't know this, I hate Hulk Hogan. But the guy without him.
Yeah, I'm not a big Hogan guy. I'm not.
I never was. When the Ultimate Warrior beat in WrestleMania 6, I jumped for joy. But
I didn't like Warrior either. I
mean, neither did I, but I liked him over at the time. I loved Warrior because he didn't know all the bad stuff about him. But there has to be a good everything. Question is based on metrics. Yes. But my thing was, I gotta give, if you think in box office, it's Hogan. But then if you think best wrestler, see, it's so hard to go. But I think
here's the thing. But like Hogan's the type of dude. Like, so there's guys in the business too who love the business, and then there's guys who only love the business when it works for them. And that's Hogan. Everyone says Hogan done so much for the business. Hogan did it because it only benefited him.
True.
Hogan,
True.
like if Hogan loved wrestling because wrestling benefited him, where you have guys in the business who legit care they're there and they love what the business stands for. I don't think Hogan was ever in that category.
You know what? And that's a great, and you see, we don't always agree, but we agree with that. We agree. So look, guys, we're talking about the biggest news in 2022, and this is just our opinions. It's my opinion, Blackwell's opinion, it's your opinion too, and we're gonna touch base with you guys. I was going out earlier. Now I'm not going, so that we can run the show as long as Blackwell wants to run the show. This could be a 15-minute stream. This could be a 5-hour stream. I don't care. I'm not going out till later tonight. So yeah. And Chrissy, starting off the night, geez, let's go. Blessings and prosperity for the new year. And for the new year, we will have new super chats. But for now, let's hit you with a Karate Kid one.
Thanks for the super chat, baby! Ding ding!
Ding, ding. Thanks for the super chat, Chrissy. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. 2022 ended great, and 2023 is going to start on a high note. And let's start on a real high note, the highest note of the year. 1 second, guys. We're going to run a quick commercial because we got something going on backstage real quick. Give me 1 second. We'll run a quick commercial for Bertucci's because we're doing Bertucci's right here. Check this out. That's this Thursday, Bertucci's.
Holy crap.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize it was coming so far. So look, we're gonna talk about Vince McMahon. He's the story of the year. Blackwell, you take it first. I'm gonna step out for 2 seconds. I will be right back.
Yeah. Listen, the only thing that could have happened that's bigger than this story in professional wrestling this year is if the guy passed away, and that did not happen. But huge allegations coming out of Vince McMahon, stuff that we all kind of knew, and everybody knew, but it just kind of came to the light, and people all of a sudden cares about it. But Vince McMahon found out had a whole bunch of people sign NDAs, had a whole bunch of female talent that was he was essentially paying for sexual activity, maybe being inappropriate with some people. All stuff we knew about Vince. This is not shocking, but it all came to light this year. He had a whole bunch of people that were in charge of things, including his daughter, including Triple H, who all kind of looked like they were abandoning ship. And everyone's like, whoa, does this mean the sales coming? Does this mean the company's selling? And then the reports came out. And then Stephanie took back over. And then Triple H was in charge of talent relations. And then it kind of, Vince is stepping down. This is hands down no bigger story than this year. Than this. Vince is officially not running what we now watch as the WWE product. And that's crazy to even think about, the fact that he is no longer in charge of creative. He's no longer in charge of talent. Essentially, he's just majority share owner right now. And then the rumors are he wants to come back, but people are saying probably not. Does this kind of lead into the next year of him turning around and saying, well, I'm majority share owner, I'll just share my shares to Disney, or I'll share my shares? Does this lead more into the if I can't have it, nobody can deal, and he sells off the company? Who knows? We don't know what was taking away from him during this. We just know that he's not in charge or running what we're watching on television. So it's very, very interesting. This is a huge, huge story. A lot of and here's the biggest problem with it, right? So everyone thinks, well, he has a lot of money. Who cares if he spent money on women and sex and this and that? The problem is he didn't spend his own money. He spent money that wasn't his. He spent company money, which is highly illegal. But nothing, not that's still in a developing situation. He spent company money to support political campaigns. So it wasn't coming out of his wallet, it was coming out of investors and shareholders' wallets, which was the big no-no. We found out he spent more money on women than he did WCW this year. Tons and tons and tons of allegations are still pouring in about this and stories, and it's not going to officially we're not going to hear the real juicy stuff until he's officially out the door, because I think there's a lot of people who are still holding on to what they want to say, but there might be an opportunity he walks back in the door. And at the end of the day, no matter what company you support, no matter what company you watch, this is the NFL of professional wrestling. This is where you're going to make the most money. This is where you're going to get the most national exposure. And probably not smart going on a limb and saying you can't stand Vince McMahon if you want to play for that league. So I think a lot of people are still holding on to stories. And I think it'll be one of those things that after he's gone, we'll get the real truth of some of the dirt this guy was behind. And the thing is too, I think a lot of people are nervous because if he goes down, I'm sure he's taking people with him, and I'm sure there's some people who are at the top currently who are not clean on their dirt as well. So it is very interesting. I'm trying to delay this as long as I possibly can and keep talking about Vince because I don't have access to slides and I don't know what the next thing are. So I will put it over to the chat. What do you guys think of this story? Do you think this is the top story of 2022 of this year? Do you think there's something that tops it? I'm sure we'll get into more of it, but we'll just kind of, without getting into other stories, so I don't leave Tony out of the loop here. Are you think we're right with our opinion? Do you think this is the top story of the year? Also, make sure you hit those likes, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe and let us know what you think of the top stories of 2022. Is Vince the top story? That's the question I pose to you guys. As Tanzalon Tozy returns to the show.
No, and Blackwell, thank you so much for holding it down. Yeah, look, I didn't even think about that. And it goes to show you how your brain works, because to me, this happened so long ago, but you got so many people, as you can see the graphic that Kira made. Well, sorry, I made this graphic. What am I saying? She does so much, but usually it's her, but I've been doing it. Everybody on this picture here had a story, even Cena, which was yesterday, but and there's more stories. Like we're gonna dig deep into this. But
real quick, Noah, they did not say female talent, but a few people who work behind the scenes, or that may have been females just working in the company, have been talked about, but no names have been put out. There was one name that a lot of people kind of were able to figure out and put her name out there without her kind of wanting that to be a thing. But no names have clearly been stated on who was affected by this and why. Well, that's also because they signed NDAs, which they're not allowed to talk about it, which is kind of a weird thing. It's like, hey, if you walk into my door and I make you sign this paper, really awful things can happen, but you're not allowed to talk about it, or I can sue you, which is a weird thing with law. I don't know. It's stupid. I hate it. I don't care if I sign a piece of paper. If I walk in the door and you do something that's illegal or I don't like, I should be able to fucking report it to law enforcement and not have to worry about nonsense. But yeah.
Yeah, and great point. Thank you, Big Bucks Bobby. Excuse me, my throat's really dry today.
Right. I'm dying right now.
And thanks for your patience, everybody. Yeah, Vince definitely the biggest news story of 2022 when it comes to wrestling. It's a shame that, look, we all knew that, look, when you make it in big business, when you make it in anything, there's no way you do it on the up and up. Very few people make it by not stepping on a few people. And it's even in this social media in this content creating business. Can't be nice to everybody. And Anthony, you know, everybody has not been nice to us. So
Preach.
but that being said, there's a line you got to not cross, you know? Look, let's be honest. We're men, Blackwell, and I'm pretty sure you like women that are attractive. And even if you're a man that likes men or a woman that likes women, it's whatever you like. But attractive people are going to be in front of you your whole life. And some people will throw themselves at you sexually when you're at a position of power. Now, if you're in a consensual relationship with two people and it had nothing to do with you, manipulating them or using them, because of your power, so be it. But if you are using your power to not let somebody get further in their career or threaten them, hey, look, if you don't have sex with me, if you don't show me your body, you're fired. That's different. Now, we don't know what happened with Vince. We don't know. We do know that there was non-disclosure signed. We do know the women signed them. We do know that no one
There was buyouts and payoffs.
There was buyouts and payoffs. Now we haven't heard that anybody's criminally charging him with anything.
Well, they are saying what he did can be prosecuted because he didn't use his own money. He used company money.
That's true. And if that's what he did against the company, he should be prosecuted. But
in this business, Lorraine, we call them ring rats.
We do call them, and listen, guys. I know I didn't do a lot in wrestling, but I had a few ring rats back in USCW, and I was on TV every Friday night, as Joe Drombowski would tell you. And the ring rats come out no matter what. They don't care what line of the
I need me a ring rat. I want to get that's 2023 goals. I want a ring rat.
Listen, you don't want a ring rat. I'll tell you why you don't want a ring rat. Because ring rats are exactly.
I'm not keeping her around. Just give her a piece of cheese and move on.
Well, listen, the problem with my cheese. no, that was a good one. The problem with my cheese is there's a lot of holes in it. Anyway,
your problem is you don't know when to take the cheese away, and then more rats develop.
That is that's in the past, but now I'm a one cheese dude. I'm a cheese. It isn't easy being cheesy, but anyway, listen. Look, Lorraine said these ring rats better stay away. She's the best. I'm not. One other thing, guys. You guys, every time I say Tony, you said I gotta stop saying is the downfall of my English vernacular. Like every time I get a pause, I go
You know what? For me anyway, when I listen to you, is not my bugaboo. Your teeth smack kills me. You do that. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. You do that a lot.
Do I really?
Yes.
What's up, everybody? You know what it is? I have big lips.
It's not a lip thing. You're smacking your tongue off your teeth.
No, but let me tell you what it is. So I have caps, right?
Yeah.
I have caps, and they're a little big for my mouth. You know?
You got Roman teeth.
Yeah, I do have Roman teeth. It's like these are my teeth, but I have caps. So it's real hard. So back when I was in the Army, I had an issue with sand. I had an issue with sand in the desert, and I used to grind my teeth. So I used to get sand deposits in the crevices, in my bones, in my jawbone. So it's eating away at my jawbone. So I had to get a full dental reconstruction. Thank God to save my teeth, but I had to get caps. So my caps are like about maybe a quarter of a centimeter too big for my mouth. I could get it fixed, but I don't want to go through it again. So it's a little hard. So if you notice, sometimes like when I'm talking, I got to swallow and then I do that. It's I can't help it. I know.
Now that I called it out, you're going to be aware of it.
Shit. But
I have mine too. I have my things I do.
But it bothers me. See, I just did it. It bothers me though, because I can't stop it. But I can. But then here's the thing. Then I wouldn't be myself. I'd be constantly talking.
That's why when I got into podcasting, everyone watch your watch your this. I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm talking how I want to talk. I'm going to talk how I talk. I'm going to be unapologetically me. You don't like the way I say. You don't like the way I speak. You don't like. I'm sorry. I'm not changing. So I'm
gonna now talk like this, everybody. Anyway, this man, huge story. You're welcome for your service. For my service. Look, Vince is never coming back. If he does, WWE stock is gonna drop and people are gonna be in uproar. It can't happen. But it's a shame to see him go the way he went. I would love to see him retire, but he was never going to retire anyway. He's going to drop dead in gorilla position. He was never going to quit. So, all right. So let's go with what I think my story is one of the biggest. And these are not in. Well, Vince was the biggest, bar none. But we weren't doing this in aspects of which one was number one, number two. But Anthony Blackwell, I will say it live the last day of 2022. He was right. Vince was the biggest show. But to me, one of the biggest shows, of the biggest thing, wrestling stories, this dude, bro, CM Punk should be just called Punk. He's a punk bitch. I said it out loud. Look, whether you love CM Punk or don't love CM Punk, watch. Whether you love CM Punk or you don't love CM Punk, Punk showed that he is not professional, that he does not care about this business. He's like Hogan, cares about himself. Because anybody gets on a media scrum and just berates the upper management, no matter who they are, no matter what his gripe was not the time to do it on a live media scrum. I think that CM Punk should never come back. I think it made for great television. I think it made for great topics. We talked about it for a while. But if you're not, I mean, what do you guys think? Him bloody?
I'm in the opposite direction.
Well, let's hear it.
Listen, CM Punk is known for one thing and one thing only, and that's being the guy who's never been a company guy, who's never been an establishment guy, who's never going to be the cover your video game, the on the cover on the thing. But he works harder and is just as talented as everybody else. And that's a chip on Punk's shoulders that most of the fans responded to Punk for. So when you pick a fight or you try to get in a verbal problem with a guy like CM Punk, he's going to respond. He's a punk rock, and Punk is about fighting the establishment. It's about, if you're higher than me and you think because you're higher than me, you're better and you work harder, I'm going to prove you wrong. That's CM Punk. That's his MO. That's been his character. That's who he is as a human being. So he had 3 CEOs who were going to dirt sheets and leaking information on him, saying that he was getting Colt Cabana fired from TV. He was getting Colt Cabana taking off TV. He was a big piece of shit. He was swinging his dick around the locker room, and he was this big issue. And not everybody and it's kind of, it's 50-50. Some people are saying that that's not the case. Some people are saying it depends on what side of the clique you're on, you know? And Punk he went against the clique at WWE. He told Triple H and Shawn to go fuck themselves. Same with FTR. FTR just recently came out, and I love Shawn. Recently just said Shawn was a huge bully when FTR was there. These are the things that Punk is not afraid to call out. This is the injustice that Punk's not afraid to fight against. And he told Tony Khan, when I walk into this press conference, I'm sick of it, and I'm going to say how I feel. And Tony Khan said, it's only fair. It's a press conference. They are saying what they have to say, but they're doing it behind your back. You have my blessing, essentially, is what came out of that. And Punk did what Punk did. He walked in, he looked right at the 3 people that are leaking all the information and said, I'm right here. Why don't you come and ask me the questions now instead of putting it on the internet first? He goes, you're only putting it on the internet first because you're catering to the 3 people who are at the top of this company, who are CEOs, who are booking themselves for everything. And that's an issue to me. And he defended himself. I don't see how he's unprofessional for doing it, but they're not for throwing the first stone. Punk did Punk, and he went back to his locker room. They came and picked a fist fight then with CM Punk, and he's the one fired. He's the one not on TV, and they're the ones on TV mocking him and having the crowd chant FCM Punk, and they're the ones still throwing shots at the guy. And he's just kind of, this is what happens. This is when you work with fucking children.
Look,
I don't disagree with Punk in this situation.
I don't disagree with what he said. I disagree when he said it.
So he should have went to the dirt sheets and did everything like a child?
No, he should have just confronted.
We're grown men. You talk about us. We have platforms. We're going to let you know on a platform. We're not going to be sneaky about that shit. We're going to fucking call it out.
Let me ask you a question.
He did some grown man shit.
Okay, but who did it hurt in the long run? Because he's not on TV anymore.
But he stood for what he believed in. That's being CM Punk. That's punk rock mentality.
See, my thing is this: the whole fighting the establishment thing. It's all played out in my opinion.
Things don't change unless you buck the system.
Listen,
it may not change for you, but I guarantee you to change it for someone down the road.
You can buck the system respectively. Okay, there's a way
No,
to
you
buck
can't.
the system.
Because the top doesn't respect you as the bottom.
No, I disagree.
They only respond to two things:
I disagree.
action, and blood.
I disagree with that because listen, when you're somebody in the public eye like CM Punk, you also have to realize who's watching you. There's kids watching you, and there's a way to carry it.
Real quick, name one time where public opinion or major revolution changed in anything in the world when it wasn't met with resistance.
No, I'm not. You're not wrong. No, I'm not disputing that he shouldn't buck the system, and I'm not disputing that he shouldn't stand up for himself. And before I go make before I go,
Daniel Bryan's not a world champion if this guy doesn't drop that pipe bomb.
1 second. Boom, baby. Boom, baby's in the house. She gets her music. That's how it goes, guys. No, I agree. Listen, Blackwell, I want you to understand what I'm saying to you. I agree that everything you're saying is right. What I'm saying is the way he did it during that media scrum, he went a little too far. There's things he could have said, and there's things he couldn't have said. Look, talking about how Colt Cabana is on his mother's bank account, immature. He lives with his mom. Stuff he didn't have. He took shots. He didn't take a shot at Colt Cabana. That was one he didn't have to take. Agreed or no?
Well, if Colt Cabana and the Bucks are saying that's why Colt Cabana's not having a job and it's all Punk's fault, then sure.
But I mean, also,
Punk's not just be like, that's not true and move on. He's going to show you the receipts why it's not true.
I get that, but my point is that you just won the world title, and that's the most important thing right now. You're supposed to put over the company you work for and that title that's supposed to be so prestigious. And all he did, he looked like a crybaby. And there was a comment made. I had it up there and I lost it. Yeah, Daniel Price. Everyone in that situation, overgrown children and marks for himself. Punk, Elite, all of them, and Contu. And I agree. They act like babies, you know? Jericho openly said Punk is a locker room cancer. Not that Jericho's much better, but every time Punk does a shoot, he sounds like a petulant child acting like he's never done wrong. And that's true. Punk always does play the victim. Oh, they sent my walking papers when I was on my honeymoon, and the doctor didn't treat me good in the WWE, and I didn't get the main event at WrestleMania. He does cry and complain, like sounds like a bitch a lot. There's things that are done wrong by me at my job too, and I go to my boss. I'm like, look, I think this is done wrong, but I don't cry. I'm like, look, I think this should change. If it doesn't change, I'm walking. But he comes off as a crybaby, and that's just my opinion. Some people may agree.
Have more transparency and health issues been addressed and treated better since since he said something?
Not disagreeing.
Did they fire that doctor and get better people in?
Not disagreeing that he was right about.
Did more people get opportunities at WrestleMania because he didn't and he said something?
Not disagreeing there either.
Do fans now hate when people come in from the outside who haven't been working all year and taking away from main event spot from other people?
Not disagreeing.
So his crying has led to positive change. So if he would have just kept his mouth shut, left and walked away like everybody else, who I feel are pussies and bitches because they don't speak their mind, positive change don't happen for somebody else. Someone has to be the bearer. Someone has to be the one they villainize. But at the end of the day, every single thing that you're calling him a baby for crying about has led to positive change for talent and stars that we love right now that have been given opportunities.
It's the tone of voice he uses in his demeanor. He seems like he's a crybaby all the time.
He can seem like whatever he wants, but when he speaks, it changes, and it changes better for somebody else. He doesn't even reap the benefits of those changes.
Wait, now let's not go there. The guy's got a very lucrative contract from Tony Khan. He's making big money. He's got a light schedule. He's getting paid to sit on right now. He's very nonchalant. First of all, let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about his work.
Did the guy ever main event WrestleMania?
Did he?
No, he hasn't.
He didn't. No.
But when he cried, did the three guys that he put over in his crying speech get WrestleMania main events?
Look.
Thank you.
Daniel Bryan deserved WrestleMania, and he may have deserved WrestleMania. He deserved WrestleMania.
Sure. Did he?
CM Punk deserved WrestleMania main event.
What I'm saying, did the eyes of the company feel Daniel Bryan deserved it?
They didn't at the time. They didn't.
But who put what the fans were thinking on the mainstream and cried about it?
That's not. Look, Lorraine, let's move on, please. This is a hot topic with this guy. Look,
I'm just saying. I think when people speak out and they buck against the multi-million-dollar billionaires, they're deemed as the villain. They're deemed as the crybaby. They're deemed as the unappreciative. But if people like this don't speak up, then things don't change.
Still not disagreeing with you. My only point is the guy just won the world title.
Daniel Bryan was a
Nope.
mid-card jobber until CM Punk went out there and said, why is Daniel Bryan not your main event? Why is this guy not being pushed harder? And then the fans got even more behind Daniel Bryan.
I think the fans were behind him before that, but I just don't
Not
think
as hard as when Punk dropped. Punk is all these people are killing themselves with this company, and then people walk in the door and take away our spots. Guys like me, guys like Daniel Bryan, guys like and he put them all over.
Hold
The
on a second.
Shield is big on WWE because CM Punk was the guy who said you should bring them up and make them megastars.
Hold on 1 second. Lorraine and Jessica, let me tell you both something right now, okay? When you want to put your hot take on what we do, you come in on the show. You ain't running nothing over there, ladies. We running this show, okay? Happy New Year to both of you. Anyway, great story. We could talk about this all day long, and this is what this show's about, arguing and having different opinion, but nothing can dispute this. Huge, huge story of 2022.
Absolutely.
Hey,
And did they make up? And are we going to get a benefit of this?
We'll see. EW1, I don't care if you agree with him. Shut your mouth. No, I'm joking. Look, if you agree with him, that's fine. I just think he's a crybaby. And that's just my opinion. All right, let's get to another.
People thought Martin Luther King and we're crybabies too.
Damn, don't go there.
Just saying.
Jesus Christ, I have a dream.
Every civil rights movement started with people who were deemed as villains and were crying and should just let the system be where it is because it's working
I don't
for
think
everybody.
that you call Martin Luther King a crybaby. Maybe some people
You don't think people said, listen, as in history now, we love the guy, but when he was doing it, go read the newspapers then.
Yeah, racist motherfuckers. But anyway, anyway,
I love it. Listen, nothing changes without a little bit of resistance.
I agree, and
because the people on the top aren't going to willingly hand it over. You got to force it out of their hand.
I want you to listen to me. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just thinking his tone of voice, the way you don't. Okay, let me ask you the last question.
If he went up and says, "Gee golly, boys, I'm really sick of them leaking stuff to the dirt sheets. I'm actually a nice guy. Please be nice to me." People have been like, "Fuck him."
Hey, Jessica, you don't. Once again, Jessica, you don't tell us what to do. Be quiet.
This is ratings.
Ratings gold. One last thing I want to say about CM Punk. Let me just ask you a question. Let's not go on a tangent. But
yeah,
you don't think that CM Punk comes off like a crybaby?
No.
At all?
No.
Moving on.
I think he speaks his mind. I respect it.
I'm done with you. This guy right here. Now, we've got a different. Huh?
Crybaby.
You think he's a crybaby?
No, I'm just.
What the hell? What the hell's going
I think
on?
Cody Rhodes as a human being is great. I don't really like the big golden base characters. I never got behind the fight from behind golden baby faces who you're gonna easily predict they're gonna win every single match. I like when a heel does it because a heel does something nasty to win the match, but I have a hard time with the baby face doing it. But he's the biggest thing in professional wrestling right now.
Why do you think this guy's the biggest thing in professional wrestling right now? Why?
Because it's the writing's on the wall. He is going to be megastar pushed.
Had to get my phone. Sorry. Listen. I love Cody Rhodes. People think I hate him because
I think as a human being, he's fucking amazing. He's done amazing things for people. He's people that I know personally in this business. He's done amazing things for. When Brody's kids died, he was the first one there. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good human being. He's genuine. And then here's a guy here. Sure, you may not like the way he left AEW and came back to WWE, and he went against everything he stood for, according to what he portrayed as a character. But I think this guy generally loves the business of professional wrestling.
I agree.
Let's go back to Flair. Was Flair a guy who loved the business, or was Flair a guy who loved because the business made him money and got him fame and fortune?
Both.
Okay. Was Dusty Rhodes a guy who generally loved the business?
He loved the business.
I think that shows with his kids.
No, I agree. Look, him leaving AEW was huge because no one saw it coming. I didn't. Did you see it coming?
Him leaving?
Yeah.
Towards the end, when stuff was starting to be leaked out and he was starting to on the outs with the Elite and stuff like that, I was like, this isn't looking good for Cody and his future in AEW.
Right. Towards the end, I started writing on the wall too. But prior to that, I thought he'd be AEW for life. I mean, I always think that people will come back to WWE eventually to get into the Hall of Fame, but I didn't think that he would, leave and go to WWE. Now, once he left, I of course thought he was going to be there, but
he said he would have stayed at AEW, but they didn't offer the money that WWE did. He went with the money, and I'm guaranteeing WWE said you're going to be a world champion.
Well,
he got the pat in the back. He got the listen. That a boy, you did it. You went and proved us wrong. You did something that no other person who have left this company and came back have done. Name anyone on the roster who has left WWE, reinvented themselves, and came back. No one did it like Cody did. Cody went out and helped start a company that now rivals WWE. No one did that. Drew McIntyre left, got jacked, grew some chest hair, put a nice beard on, became the Fabio of professional wrestling, and now is the biggest draw in the company. But Cody did it on a completely different level. He went and made himself in Japan. He went and made ROH a big thing that people started caring about ROH and the Elite and the Bullet Club and all that cool thing. Then he went and started AEW and helped build it to what it was and got it to where it was because his input and his tutelage and his name and all that great stuff. And then he came back to WWE, but no one did what Cody did when he left.
I can't disagree with that. As much as I don't agree that Cody should be champion before Sami Zayn, I do agree that Cody can definitely be the face of WWE.
He's your next John Cena.
He can be Cena 2.0 is what I was going to say. I could see him on the lunch boxes, and I can see him on doing the whole Make-A-Wish thing. But
and he comes off to me as someone who's going to be that guy who's not going to run away and go to Hollywood.
I think if Hollywood calls anybody, they're going to go though.
First off, I'm not being mean, but no one's hiring Cody Rhodes to act in a movie with a lisp. Sorry.
Hey, what's wrong with lisps? Some people...
Just being honest. He's not going to be The Rock. I'm going to save the world today.
Everybody get down. He's got a gun. Everybody get down.
He's going to shoot us all. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. This is where I think Cody stands differently from The Rock and differently from John Cena. I think a lot of these people we just said, The Rock, listen, he came from a bloodline. But if the NFL would have worked out for The Rock, WWF what? Right. John Cena, his bodybuilding wasn't working out. You should be a wrestler. Cody Rhodes was born and bred professional wrestling. I can see Cody Rhodes at one point in time being someone who possibly takes the reins off Triple H and his family takes over WWE.
I don't know about that.
I can just for his love of this business. I can see him be in those shoes.
I definitely see Cody doing something big in the industry again, helping the company to go to the next level, or maybe even going to start his own company again. Who knows? But he definitely loves the business. I think I definitely love to see him and Dustin get back together and do something together. Creatively.
I think when Dustin's contract's up in AEW, he's gonna leave and he's gonna come and he's gonna get a job coaching or helping in NXT and making some money.
If you're here for the first time, hit that like, hit that thumbs up, of course, subscribe, share. Tubbs Videos, I've never seen his name before. He had a question. Why did Cody leave? You want to answer that for him, Blackwell?
Cody essentially left AEW for creative differences, and also WWE offered more money. He played the contract game. He said, "Who has more money? Who's going to offer more?" And WWE said yes, and WWE offered probably a little more than just the money. You're right. Vince does have 6 grandkids and everything like that, but not everybody's grandkids care about the business. Not everybody's grandkids want to grow up and be in the professional wrestling business. And you can hand somebody the company who has a grandkid. It happened numerous times. Why do you think that Jarrett's have been associated with professional wrestling as long as they have? At one point in time, WWE was almost handed to the Jarrett family because their knowledge and toolage of what they can do in professional wrestling. It was this close. WWE was this close of Vince handing over WWE during the steroid allegations to Jeff Jarrett's dad and Jeff.
That's crazy.
Just because you have listen, those grandkids are going to be just fine, making millions. They're going to have billions of dollars to sit on the rest of their lives. But when you want to carry on a business and you need to put people in charge of said business who knows how to run the business and knows how to keep the storylines going, listen, that Cody is that next guy that can do that.
I agree. And we got to see what happens with Cody in 2023. Let's see if he's fully healed.
He's fully healed.
Let's see.
You don't put on 240 pounds of muscle if your pec's still torn. You can't lift weights.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. Question: will Sasha Banks and or Mandy Rose be part of AEW in 2023? No, I say no on both.
Maybe Banks. Banks's big thing is how Japan treats her, and if WWE has a working relationship with Japan.
I think we see them both back by WrestleMania, both of them, in the WWE.
Mandy would be tough because they have to eat their crow and they don't like doing that.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they will. Speaking of Mandy Rose, let's talk about that. Big story this year. Mandy Rose.
She was the top of the NXT roster. She was your most successful women's champion there. She unified 2 company belts and was fired a month before the end of the year because she showed her nipple on the internet.
A miscarriage of justice, as Gorilla Monsoon would say.
Here's my thing. Everyone talks about you can't compare everybody else's nude photos on the internet because they were leaked photos. How are Mandy Rose not leaked? When you sign up for these subscription services, one of the big things they say is if you take away any content off this page and distribute it on your own, you can be charged with legal action. That is theft. Just like if you get a movie off the internet or you pirate something else. If you take something off a subscription website like an OnlyFans and put it out there, you have just leaked information. That is a leak. Sure, it's for public consumer, but it's behind a paywall. So how is hers not considered a leak and everybody else's are?
True.
Everyone who took a nude photo of themselves that got leaked were just as willing to take the photo and send it to somebody as she was to record it and put it on behind her paywall.
Yeah, and it's tough because listen, there's no way on earth that she deserved to get fired, in my opinion. Now look, maybe she might have broke some contract rules. Something should have been done for her. They should have figured out something. She technically took a step down, went down to NXT and killed it. Toxic Attraction, baby.
And that came with a pay cut.
It did come with a pay cut. And
why do you think even some of the biggest wrestlers in the world have Twitch streams, have side businesses, have side hustles? Why do you think wrestlers sell 8x10s and t-shirts? Do you think this is because they're marks for themselves? And there are some people who sell t-shirts because they're marks for themselves, but because this business, they always say, if you want to make money in a wrestling business, don't be in the wrestling business. She found a way to make money for herself. Look, and sure, she did it off the back of what WWE made her. WWE made her a top sexy bombshell woman who everyone talked about how sexy she was. And boy, and they say all their perverted things that wrestling fans say about her. And she says, you know what? That seems like a market. I'm going to cash in on it.
Not to mention, so from what I researched, she wasn't even making $80,000 a year in NXT.
Nope.
So think about that. She made $250,000 in 60 days.
And then another $500,000 when she got fired.
So she made $500,000 in 3 months compared to $80,000. Anybody want to sign me up for OnlyFans or Strip Chat or anything else? Because, I might not have the kind of boob she has, but I'll do what I got to do to make that money. Come on. Yeah.
Getting as much press, isn't sexy, but okay. $500 million disagrees with you.
Daniel
$500,000 disagrees.
First of all, Mandy Rose was already beautiful when she was in Tough Enough. She got some enhancements, but look, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with it's her body? We always say women's body's women's choice. If she wants to get a Brazilian butt lift and she wants to get those big boobs, that's on her. She wants to get a nose job, that's her body. And if she's going to profit off it, that's her body to do so. Look, I'm not going to lie.
And you can put as much into your body in enhancements and surgeries as you want, but if you look at her, she's still in the gym 10 times. She's in the gym putting hours in. She's keeping her fit. She's doing exactly what she needs to do. You can go and go under a knife all day long, but after you get the surgery, you still have to keep working with it.
And she's naturally beauty. You know, let me see if I can find a picture of Mandy Rose before. Let me see. Mandy Rose.
She was hired for a reason.
Right. Mandy Rose.
But once again, Mandy Rose, sure, maybe she broke some contract obligations and said, "Hey, you know, you're not allowed to do this anymore. You can't be on OnlyFans doing this. You can only make lewd nudographic photos for WWE if we approve it, because then we get a cut of that." And she was cutting them out of money, and they didn't like that, so they fired her for it. That's essentially what it comes down to. When you're in WWE, and if she would have worked out a deal to go do Playboy, they would have probably taken about half of that money. And she said, "Listen, I'm going to go make it on my own." And they fired her for it, and she's still making money. She's doing fine. But this is when someone steps up, takes control of themselves, takes control of their situation, and WWE, she'll make her stock so high that WWE might have to say, "We might have to bring back Mandy Rose." And then she comes back, and then she has to write in her contract, "I'm allowed to do this still, or I'm not coming back." And then the next person in line is allowed to do it as well. This is how change happens in this business.
Agreed. Hold on, I'm trying to find. I had a
Daniel, I love you to death, and I'm not trying to take shots here, but you're saying that doesn't make people who get work done any less insecure or fix their deeper issues they got. I think you trying to point out that she has insecurities and deeper issues might be you self-reflecting on your deeper issues and insecurities. Just saying.
Jeez.
If you're taking time out of your day to say that she has insecurities because she got a boob job, I think you need to go look in the mirror, my guy or girl.
Listen, Anthony Pecco has his own opinions, and he's allowed.
Just saying, how are you going to call somebody else out but not look at yourself? Maybe she doesn't have insecurities. Maybe she just wanted a boob job. Who knows? But to say that you're making wild assumptions.
Hey, listen.
The last guy who made statements like that on the internet just got arrested for sex trafficking. Just putting it out there, Andrew Tate. Relax.
So here's her prior to her any of her surgery.
One less subscriber for ABJ. Sorry. This is why I'm third in the list.
Be quiet. You're allowed to have your opinion. Listen, you're allowed to have your opinion, and he can come back at you, and I'll put his chat up. And that's what this is about. Look, here's Mandy Rose before any surgery. This is her at the Performance Center. As you can see, no makeup, busting her ass, working hard. I'm trying to find another picture when she was just on Tough Enough, but I can't find it. But I think there's a double standard for women too, you know?
There's a huge double standard for women. Huge. And that's the problem. But if a woman, see, listen, we're men and society are allowed to objectify and sexualize women. And that's fine as long as it makes them money. But the second the woman takes back their power and uses their own sexuality for themselves, then they're considered sluts. Then they're considered whores. Then they're considered insecure. They have deep-rooted issues. That's where the problem is, and that's why I get a little heated with comments like that, because it's great for major companies and top guys and the people to sexualize women and use their sex as power and money. But the second a woman does it themselves, then they're every slur in the book.
All right, guys, I got a few pictures. Here we go. And you guys can reply if you disagree with Anthony or agree, man. That's what we're here for. So look at this. So she got a little work done on her face. She definitely got a nose job. But you can still tell she's definitely a pretty girl. Beautiful blonde hair. She's maybe not a 36 double D up top, but she's still got a little stuff going on, you know? And hey now. Hey,
this was a WWE photo. Hey, Mandy, get naked and put both titles over your private parts, and we're going to put it on our Instagram. But don't do it yourself. Double standard.
True. And where's another one? I had another picture of her. Where is it? Did I lose it? Oh, here we go. And this is when she first got there. Still a beautiful young lady. Yeah, she got some breast enhancements. And maybe she got a butt lift. But her body, her choice, you know?
I don't care if she had a clown makeup tattoo on her face. It's her choice.
Agreed. This one is a touchy subject.
Now we're getting into touchy subjects. The last three just probably left 8 people left the chat.
That's okay. No, hold on.
The big bad ABJ speaks things that I don't like.
Bro, I don't mind. We'll wait on the touchy subject. We'll just talk about this one. Arguably one of the greatest to ever.
Did she? I don't think she won the year she. No, did she win the year she was on?
Second place.
That's right. So you won second.
Second or third. She did not win. But she was even though she came, I think Sonya Deville came in 6th, and I think she maybe came in 3rd.
Chelsea Green was on that season too, right?
Green was on that season.
Yeah.
But they said that she had that Mandy Rose had the most potential. And they also said she had the best look out of any of them.
Mhm.
And that's what they go for, because who else from Tough Enough made it from that women's division?
Yeah.
So this guy, what else can you say?
Great 2022.
Look at it. Look at it. The stars are behind him. They're aligned. What else can you say about this guy? Is this guy? Oh, right. Thank you so much, Mia. The late Sarah Lee, who passed away this year, she won. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Mia.
And Sarah Lee was a trendsetter because she was that girl who didn't over-sexualize herself and kind of went out there as her own thing, and
she did the farmer's girl
and revolutionized what other women can do in this business. And then people like Soraya or Paige, how we know her, stepped in and did things differently.
Definitely. I don't know what you could say bad about this guy. The guy came back 2 years ago during COVID. He was out for a while, came back, annihilated Bray Wyatt, annihilated Braun Strowman, got Paul Heyman as
annihilated everybody.
Everybody.
Name one person this guy didn't beat this year.
Smashed him and stacked him. Stacked him and smashed him, whatever he said.
Wreck everyone and
leave. And he left. Daniel Bryan, Edge, who everybody thought Edge was going to get the title, at WrestleMania.
Listen, if there was a moment where I thought, honestly, where I was like, this is it. This is where Roman loses the title, was Clash of the Castle. Man, because they put everything in their soul into saying Drew McIntyre was the homeboy, and Roman came in and said, nah, acknowledge me.
Had his insurance policies, had the bloodline, had Solo Sikoa, had Sami Zayn. Listen, he's done everything right. What mistakes has this guy made? Got a better contract, wrestles less. He's an attraction.
He turned everyone booing him as a babyface into everyone cheering him as a heel.
Because they let him be him. This is who he was. If you watched NXT, when he was in NXT, he was a character called Leaky, right? That's what it was called, Leaky.
Yeah.
And he wore a suit, had his cell phone. He was arrogant as I don't know what. I don't know why they didn't bring that over. I mean, the Shield thing was great, but once they turned him face and his suffering succotash and all this crap, my God. And the pushing him down our throats was the worst, But
they still push him down our throats, and we ate it up.
It's true.
And listen, you can sit there and say, listen, well, I think this person should have taken the title off him at this point in time, or I think this person should have been champion at this time. Listen, sometimes when a formula works, you got to roll with it. I.e., the women's division on SmackDown for the past couple months. You take away she gets everything because her last name's Flair, and she didn't work as hard as everybody else, and I hate the fact that Charlotte Flair's there and she's always the champion. And then Charlotte went away and the women's division blew. And in one night, Charlotte came back and walked into the crowd and everyone's hugging her because they realized that she's the queen.
We need you. We need you.
And listen, I think if any point in time in these 2 years, I think with how bad WWE was under Vince's booking, even though Vince was shitting the bed with everyone else, this was the only bright spot that kept WWE fans watching WWE. And if he would have lost any titles at that point in time, it probably would have collapsed.
Look, I don't know what else to say about this guy. And of course, we'll get to women's division. But Roman Reigns, the question you have to ask yourself, I saw reports that he might not even lose a title at WrestleMania. They might keep it on him.
I think he keeps one.
He might keep both.
I don't think he keeps both.
I don't know, man.
There's actually reports out there right now saying that he may lose one before Mania. So they don't have to make him wrestle 2 nights.
I think him wrestling 2 nights is great. It's great for business. That he main events, he'd be the only man to main event both nights. That'd be great. Who else would be able to say that? I think he wants that moniker. The main event.
I think he deserves it.
You know what? I agree. I
think he wins night 1, goes out on top, and loses night 2.
To Sami Zayn.
Definitely not.
Look, What else can we say about this guy? Tribal Chief.
If Ambrose Mox was still in WWE and the Shield was still together, would he have still gotten the push? He was getting the push when all three were there. He was already a world champ multiple times when Jon Moxley was still there, and he was already a multiple-time champ when Seth Rollins is there. Shit, they even brought them together as the Shield, I believe, with one of them as the world champion. They were all thriving without each other or with each other.
It's one of the one factions in the history of the business that everybody's world champion, and that they didn't need each other, and then when they came together, it was great.
Yep.
I don't think you ever seen that in any other faction. I mean,
DX.
well, that was different because there's only two
When
of
they
them.
were DX, they kind of. I'm gonna say I was gonna say DX. They didn't really go for world championships, but Shawn did as DX. But I don't know. It's weird. It's tough to say.
It's tough because the thing about, but I mean, say it depends on what DX in what DX you're talking about.
Evolution. Good call, Anthony.
Well, Flair had already been past his prime when he come to world titles then.
But it
I
was
guess
different generations of wrestler. Yeah.
technically all four guys in Evolution were world champions and tag champions and IC champions. So I get it. You know. Thanks, Grace. And Grace, I don't know if you can. I've sent you an invite, Grace, if you can make it in. And happy belated birthday. You know, say happy birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, bro. Again. But what about this guy with the watch? What about Paul Heyman? He gets, Paul Heyman doesn't get the props he deserves.
Well, I think he does.
I don't think so. I think
You don't
people
think he
know
does?
he's great. No, I think people know he's great, but I don't think people put on him on a pedestal as being maybe the best manager in history of the business, even better than Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think when you talk to wrestling fans, I think even diehard Bobby the Brain Heenan fans say Paul Heyman's right up there with him, if not better.
Bobby Heenan may be one of the best of all. Like Bobby Heenan, if you're not a Bobby Heenan fan, go look up his stuff. Bobby Heenan was great. But like I was saying, Roman Reigns and with the bloodline, of course.
Oh, I don't think Paul Heyman retires in 2023.
No way. One of the best factions we ever seen, guys. And soon this will be all a distant memory. But look, he's done it all. He's beat them all. Let's see, who else do I have up here? Okay, but let's talk about this. Triple H taking over.
Yeah.
That also coincides with Vince. And let me know when you got to go, bro, because I got nothing to do.
As soon as I get a message from my wife saying we have plans, let's go, I'm ready to go.
And if I'm not seeing the chats, guys, forgive me. I'm doing this alone today. Kira is out. She's out. She said, I'm out of here.
She's going drinking.
She's only 18, so
So is Graves.
he's 20. Anyway, I'm leaving for work. Oh, payment. Okay. All fame. Favorite manager all time. Okay. Triple H has a heart attack.
Gets a pacemaker.
Never can wrestle again. Puts his boots down at WrestleMania. Nobody saw that coming. I'm sitting in the freaking 5th row, and they hear his music starts playing. Like, what? It's time to play the game? Boots in the middle of the ring. Tear to my eye. Not that I was a child when DX was big, when Triple H was big. I was a young adult. But a tear came to my eye because it reminded me of all, people never give Triple H his due. Yeah, he's a champion. He's 13-time champion. He's buried. People say he's buried this one, they buried this one. But the freaking business ran around Triple H for 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
Great
mind for the business, too. For how many people he's buried, he's probably uplifted 10 more times.
Look, I hate people, like I said before.
When someone takes a loss, everyone's quick to say, well, they're buried.
Well, Booker T.
Booker T he was buried. Usually you go 6 feet deep. They put him 14 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
He's the only one I would say that Hunter buried. But other than that, and look, when you're on top, you want to stay on top. And sometimes you got to do things by any means necessary.
Well, Booker T still has a job. He's making money in the WB. Sure, he didn't win that match that night, but he's making money.
He doesn't do drops.
Listen, I don't do drops either. Don't ask me to do a drop for your show. Especially if I don't listen to it.
Damn.
If I listen to it and support you, I'll do a drop.
my point is this: is he was going to do the drop. He wanted money for the drop.
Here's my question when it comes to
Yeah.
drops.
Yes,
What do you think a drop gets out of it?
nothing.
What do you get out of a drop?
Let me tell you what it gets for me. First of all, people think, oh, if this guy says something to me, I'm going to get 1 million subscribers. I don't think that way. I like the montage of having everybody I got to say my catchphrase. It's just something personal for me.
Yeah.
That's it. It wasn't
Like,
something that
do you think like, and maybe I'm wrong, but as a listener, if you see like, if I had, The Rock say, "You are now listening to ABJ podcast, best podcast in the world." Do you think The Rock means that?
doesn't matter, but people think it means it and they'll watch you.
I don't think they do though. I think
I
they
don't-
think, okay, he
No.
paid for a
You're
drop.
wrong.
This is like I look at it and I go, that person that I look at drops and I look at them as maybe different than everybody else does.
If you get somebody like The Rock to do a drop for you, he goes, hey, you know my name. I'm Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Watch the best YouTube show, blah, blah, Tantalizing Tony, and do what I do best. If you smell, stay tantalizing. You don't think my subscribers will go up?
I maybe they will, but once again, I don't see drops the same people everyone else does. I look at a drop, I'm like, all right, someone either paid or bugged that guy to say that for them.
And listen, I get it, it's a business. But do you
Dude,
think
you watch some streams, dude, and they have drops from people, and then you look at it, and it's the worst quality fucking content you've ever seen in your life. You're like,
I
if
agree.
you would have paid less for your drop and more into your microphone, your stream would be better.
Agreed, and that's why I have a nice microphone, thanks to you. But that's my thing. This is my thing. It wasn't just like, here's the story. I didn't just say, hey man, can you do this for me? Early in the day, I gave him I made a 30-second clip for him, and I held it on my phone. I say, this is my channel. I do a lot of stuff with wrestling. I'm trying to make it like you. So I said, I love what you do. Now, of course, I was lying. I love what you do on your show. I watch you all the time. I'd love to get a drop from you. He goes, I'll check it out. He looked at it in front of me in 30 seconds. Then when I came over to him, he's like, oh man, he said, all right, man, $500. Then he told his boy, hey, tell the dude I don't do drops for less than 500. So he wanted to give him 250 to say stay and 250 to say tantalizing. So here's my point. You'll do the drop for $500, but I won't do the drop for free. Okay? And here's the thing. If you're giving back to the business, and let's keep this 100, it's the end of the year, I'm going to keep it 100. You're an African-American like me. Someone gave you a chance. You know, you weren't on the up and up your whole life. You made a few mistakes in your life. You know what I mean? Sure. Someone gave you a chance, and a guy comes to you, an African-American father who explains the situation, introduces you to his daughter and say, look, this is my channel. I've got 3K plus subscribers. I'm moving pretty fast. This would help me. I have great content. You know, I'm not just, here's my little clip for you. I love you say it. He says he's going to do it, but only for money. And then without the money, doesn't do it. That was my issue. The money.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave you $500. You'd say,
what if they won't even say hi to you unless you pay them money, or they act like you don't exist?
Bully Ray,
and you're the only guy in their con, in the entire con, with a whole bunch of legends in a building you've never even wrestled in, and I'm wearing your brand shirt.
Who are you talking about exactly?
I'm talking about the Dark Order.
Oh, well, listen. I think that's wrong. I think they big timed you, which you shouldn't do to anybody.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know?
yo, are you paying for anything? I was like, no, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, and I appreciate you. Yeah, whatever. Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
Well, look, Bully Ray big time me too. And I'm so, you know, everybody go kayfabe.
This is why I fuck with the independent scene.
I get you. But, but anyway, Triple H.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
went on.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying.
Triple H is doing a great job. He essentially, the product has changed, and I don't think it's done. I think after Mania, I think we get the full rebirth of what Triple H has in store. I still think right now he's hanging on to some old storylines that people put a lot of hard work and dedication into through Vince and through writers and through everything backstage that people invested a lot of time and effort and money into. And I think after the new year's done, I think after Mania season's done, I think that's when Triple H says, all right, going into start writing different stuff now, because as soon as WrestleMania is done, we are rebooting, resetting, and it's going to be a completely different WWE.
I agree with that too. Let me ask you this. Do you think Triple H has made any mistakes since taking over?
Me personally, some of the people he brought back, I'm
Who?
not huge fans of.
Tegan Knox?
But when it comes to money wise, I think they're smart moves.
No, but I mean, who do you think? I say Tegan Knox was a bad.
I don't think Tegan Knox is a bad pick.
You know?
No.
What about Emma?
She can actually wrestle.
What about Emma?
Emma, not a horrible pick.
Who you think he should have brought back then?
Who I think he should have brought back, or who did he bring back that I wasn't a fan of?
He shouldn't have.
Braun, in my opinion.
Well, we all know that.
But Braun's money. People love Braun. They buy his merch. They love to see him come around and do his choo-choo train thing. The younger fans love Braun Strowman. He is a money guy, and he looks big. He's a good look for a wrestling company.
He is,
and I get it. But me as the character, I'm not huge on Braun. I'm not huge on Bray.
I agree.
I think if you put the effort into making someone dark and spooky and put the money into hiring horror movie writers and hiring all these people, you brought in Killer Cross. Put that effort into him because he can wrestle and he can go and he has a really good looking valet and everything about that is money. But then you bring back Bray the same time you bring Cross, and now Cross is no longer paranormal spooky and he's in limbo about what he needs to be as a character. And Bray Wyatt is every week doing something completely different.
Mir says Hit Row.
Hit Row is tough. Hit Row is like when you bring a stable back, but don't bring back the main person that made the stable special. I said last night, if they change Hit Row and make them heel, I think they have a shot.
You're right. And I think last night we might see that happening with Top Dollar pushing Ricochet.
Yeah. I think if you turn them heel, I think you have a shot at this.
Good question, Will. Do you think AAA is working with a partnership with AAA? Don't know.
Seems that way.
Does that do anything? Does having a partnership with AAA do anything for WWE?
AAA wants nothing to do with AEW. NXT Mexico.
Oh, possibly. You're right. Possibly. Speaking of Dragon Lee, I just happen to have a freaking. There we go. Look at that. I was ready, guys. I was ready. Anthony, you think any other stories you can think of? Anything else? I mean, Charlotte Flair just came back. I mean, you could talk about her.
Yeah, I mean that's really like that's about the last ditch effort end of the year. Bringing back a lot of names. They brought back Bronson. They brought back Johnny Gargano. They brought back Candice LeRae. They brought back did I say Bronson Reed already? Killer Cross, Scarlett Bordeaux. They brought back, I mean, a lot of names. They brought back a lot of people they fired and they were working with. We're probably still more to come. They gave wrestlers their names back. Now Nikki Cross is back to Nikki Cross, and she's doing her thing. Matt Riddle, I think, is Matt Riddle again. I could be wrong. Or Austin Theory is now Austin Theory. Who knows? Yeah, a lot of big changes, and that's all with the Triple H era. That's Triple H coming back and kind of slowly reverting everything back to what it was. Tommaso Ciampa came back and then got hurt, unfortunately, again. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
What about Saraya coming back?
Saraya, that's huge. Yeah, we kind of focus on a lot of WWE. Saraya coming back is huge.
Massive. Thought she'd never wrestle again. Had a decent match against Britt Baker. I was there. Caught a copyright strike for Saraya. But look, if you're a Paige Saraya fan, Saraya, whatever you want to call her, it was a nice little comeback for her. I think they might have fumbled the ball with if she was a heel or not, the way she was talking. But who cares? Somebody who loses their dream because of injury is the worst. You know, Edge, Daniel Bryan. It's funny because all these three people had the same doctor declare them, which is crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you listen to some podcasts, that you get some little bits of information and some good things. And when she was on a podcast with Renee, before she was even signed or anything like that, she talked about that she was in touch with Edge and Beth Phoenix, and they put her in touch with doctors that helped Edge and helped a lot of these people with neck issues. And she said, "I'm not done. I want to do something again." So that was all seeds planted a long time ago. Eric Young, if you see Eric Young come back, there's probably two other guys right behind him. Chelsea Green is she's already canceled her OnlyFans, so that's a sign that she might be coming back. Mark Cardona is coming back. FTR, I don't think is coming back.
I disagree. I think they are. They're dropping all their titles.
They're dropped for a reason.
Hmm.
They don't like the WWE system. He was very, if you listen to episode 1 on the podcast, not a big fan of the WWE system. Not a big fan of Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, they literally said Shawn was talking me up and saying we're the best tag team ever into our face. And then when the DX and the Click were around, they treated us like we were scumbags. Dax did not forget about that, and that still bothers him. Dax and FTR are also big, huge Bret Hart guys, so they might have a little bit of beef with Shawn Michaels. I'm telling you, FTR is not going anywhere. FTR is getting a third member of their stable, and they're gonna go for trios, and they're gonna go against the Elite.
Are you trying to say it's gonna be CM Punk?
I'm telling you, it's gonna be CM Punk.
Oh my God.
Guess who their first guest of the podcast was?
CM Punk was CM Punk. Do I want to see this?
Yes, you do. You want to see the Bucks, FTR, Kenny versus and Kenny and fucking CM Punk? Yes, you do.
I don't think CM Punk can keep up.
Sure, yes, he can.
I don't know, man. That guy
Whose style do you think they wrestle into? Do they wrestle into Flippy Dippy or do they go old school?
They got to go old school, of course. But I think CM Punk's done. I think he's finished.
Nope.
I don't know. Oh, no, we didn't talk about? We did for a minute. Bray coming back was huge for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, who do you think? So now they're saying that wasn't Captain Howdy Doody Poopy Pants last night.
Who was it?
It's another character that people are assuming it's Uncle Brody or something like that. They're saying when did new uncles come to the storyline that I'm not aware of? Are fans just speculating again?
Listen,
everybody on TikTok, everybody on the internet is saying there's Uncle Howdy and then there's Uncle Brody and then there's Uncle something else and then like there's more than one uncle. Because last night, and I'll give him this, last night that wasn't the Howdy mask. Have you seen photos of it?
No, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. That wasn't the Uncle Howdy mask they're saying?
It was. If you look at the photos, it was not an Uncle Howdy mask. No.
Let's see. SmackDown. Sorry, guys. I'm searching. The producer is off today. Me all by myself doing this. I'm not that good.
I'm looking for the photo that I had posted. Or the There's a really, really good high def photo out there. Like a really good high def photo.
I think I got a split screen. Hold on.
I might have sent it to somebody.
Is this
on Instagram. No. That's Howdy's mask.
That's not it?
No, that's not the mask that was being worn last night.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys, still looking.
Here, I'll send it to you. Also, did you see the WWE video game got their special edition version leaked?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes is on the cover, right?
No, they didn't announce the actual cover yet, but they said the special edition is going to be John Cena.
Oh, that's cool. Deserves it.
But Cody is supposedly on the regular cover.
Yeah, that's the case.
What does not look good for your theory. I just sent it to you. I just sent it in the group chat.
Okay, let me look, guys. Guys, bear with us, please. This is a live show. And hit the likes, by the way, guys. And, Happy New Year. Anthony sent me 2 photos.
Uncle Harper, that's it. And it's definitely not Vincent. I can tell you right now it's not Vincent. I'll show you. When he pulled up the photo, I'll tell you exactly why it's not Vincent.
Okay, hold on. Copy image. Paste. Hold on, guys. Like I said, I am not the best producer.
You can just hit share on the bottom and just drop a photo.
Yeah, I know.
Or you can put it in an overlay. So that's the photo of the guy last night on SmackDown.
That's a split. That mask is not, it has no bottom to it.
Yep. Now, you know why I know that's not Vincent? Everyone online saying that's Vincent.
Vincent who? Vincent who? Who's Vincent?
Pull up Vincent on the internet.
Who the hell is Vincent?
Vincent is he was on somewhere else, and then he came to he's now signed to NXT. Just write Vincent the wrestler.
Oh, this guy right here.
Actually, click on the top photo where he has less of a beard.
This one?
Yeah. Make that bigger if you can.
Hold on, I'll put it right here. Hold on.
Can you zoom into that?
Oh, geez, that's not him. I can't zoom into the. Hold on, let me see.
Can you zoom into the browser like you normally do? Yeah, zoom.
It won't let me zoom. It's the best I can do.
All right, there's a little bit of the. So if he trimmed his beard down, it's possible. But go back to that photo of Uncle whatever this Uncle Masked Man.
Uncle Harper.
First off, what did Vincent have in that earlier, the most recent photo you put up of him, besides a huge beard? Dreads.
Oh, yeah, dreads. Yeah,
Yeah, giant dread knots.
Maybe it's a wig.
Are you hiding those big dread knots under that little dainty wig?
No. Listen, I don't know who the guy.
What else did Vincent have in that photo? All over his neck.
Tattoos.
That's not Vincent.
It's somebody random.
I think it's your better opportunity to be Bo Dallas right there. Because the guy who came out as Captain Howdy was shorter and chubbier, and this guy was a lot taller and leaner.
That's true. I think we spend too much time on that guy. But it was a big story. Everybody was into it.
Yeah. I think what personally annoys me with the Bray Wyatt thing is just the fan speculation. I think it's annoying. I think the fans, once the fans start speculating and they come up with their own theories and then they're not right, they'll cry and say, well, it's not the way I would have booked it. And then I have to listen to that side of Bray Wyatt thing and I hate it. Or they don't get what they want and they're dead set on that's what's right and they don't get it and they just accept it anyway because they want to. Like some political bullshit. It's like everyone's like, I don't like this certain thing and I stand for it. And I make my entire personality trait not liking this one thing. And then the person that you like does the one thing that you've been making your personality trait for 6 months. And you go, well, it's kind of okay now for that because he did it. It's just like, oh, you're a sheep. You know what I mean? And that's essentially a lot of the Bray Wyatt that we get is when Bray Wyatt fans are like, oh, it means this and then it means that. And he tied his shoes in a certain way. And then they're wrong. And they're like, genius, loved it. What I said was stupid. It's like, oh my God, grow a backbone.
I'm over Bray. I got 2 more topics I want to talk about real quick.
Yeah, so
one's this guy, Chris Jericho. Say what you want. The guy found a way to reinvent himself again. The Ocho.
I think this is his weakest in a long time.
What?
I think Jericho's on to society. The Jericho Appreciation Society was weak. I don't think it was as good as the Inner Circle. And I think the biggest mistake they made in this team is no one really else stood out in it besides Jericho. Garcia got some opportunities to wrestle, but he wrestled Wheeler Yuta 100 times. Jake Hager is still just the guy who stands there and he's big and then does pretty much nothing. Sammy Guevara did more for Sammy Guevara than he did anything. And you have one of the most entertaining tag teams who you can put on TV and do awesome things with, and you never showcase them. So everyone's appreciative of Chris Jericho, but no one got any time but Chris Jericho.
Well, it's called the Jericho Appreciation Society. They'll appreciate him. He's the main member. He's the guy. I'm just saying to him personally, I think he did a lot for Ring of Honor. I think at 52 years old, locker room leader with the whole CM Punk thing. I think Jericho, look, he's at the end of his career. And I just think that, Jericho did a great job this year. I mean, there's people that made me more deserving of a great 2022, but the guy's 50-something years old, still find a way to stay relevant. It's not easy to do in the wrestling business.
No, not at all. He's definitely still a backbone of the company, and he's doing a great job.
In case you guys didn't hear, AJ Styles broke his ankle. He's out. He doesn't need surgery.
We'll say this. That's a good injury. Broken ankle. A couple months. Maybe, you know what I mean? He would if he would have torn an ACL, MCL, that's a year, almost a year and a half.
Yeah. hopefully be back by WrestleMania. He won't make the Rumble, I don't think.
WrestleMania is a stretch too.
You think so?
Yeah,
Broken ankle, 4 months.
could be with his wrestling style. Yeah.
Hello, governor. Hello, my daughter. I love you. Happy New Year. And this is my personal favorite, guys. Listen, everybody, say what you want to say. This guy right here, Sami Zayn, whether he'll be WWE champion or not, you can't argue this guy didn't have a good 2022.
Great year.
Yeah. Remember the bloodline. Everything he touched was gold. He got the best phrase of the year, Usi. Everybody's feeling Usi.
Which is funny because it actually is may or may not be a bad thing to say. The rumor is to say you're feeling Usi, or if you're Usi, is not technically a term of endearment in that culture.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I did not know that. But look, the honorary Us, no matter what you think about this guy, energetic, great on the mic, great backstage, acting's great. He had a great showing at War Games. Took the pin last night. We see a little bit of cracklings in the bloodline as of last night. But what else can you say about Sami Zayn, man? Look at Roman in the background, just entertained. This guy's entertaining.
Yeah. So, do you want to know what Usi why they broke so hard for Usi?
Sure.
Because Sammy didn't know that it meant this. He just kind of added to the word like most Americans do. But when you say in Polynesian Usi, you're essentially calling somebody a pussy.
Oh.
Somebody goes, "You're not feeling very Usi." That's why they're like. So Us is in term of endearment, as in brother, as in family. Like, you're my brother. You know, you're what's up, Us? You know what I mean? That's essentially what that means. But if you so Us can be you're my brother or you're my sister. Like, we're so close that I put that title of like you're my brother, you're my sister, and that's the term of Us. But Usi is almost like saying someone's a pussy. Yeah.
Well, now that we know
Sorry for the harsh language.
Hey,
Penalizing
listen,
nation.
It is what it is. Guys, my pick for the end of the year.
You're high.
And we're gonna see this, guys.
No.
I had to do it.
Look, you couldn't even put actual belts on because it doesn't make sense.
I had to make those myself. So leave me alone. This guy's gonna do it, guys. He's gonna do it. Anyway.
The cover of the video game will be your main guy going forward.
I don't want to talk to you.
Pro wrestling has more than one royal family. For the record, when he becomes champion, I'm probably going to hate the product, but I'm just putting it out there.
I want to share some with you guys real quick before you go. So if you guys were here last night, you were part of the show. But what was crazy is this. See if I can zoom in a little bit on this. This was tough to do. So last night's show was John Cena returns to SmackDown. Can you guys see right here what that says? Blackwell, can you see that?
Sorry, I was looking at. I just got PayPal
okay.
money.
Sorry.
Yeah, 4K.
4,000 views last night.
Nailed it.
What a way to end SmackDown. That's crazy, guys. Oh, geez. That was thanks to you guys. 4,000 views on a SmackDown stream. We never hit that on a pay-per-view stream. Goes to show you the power of John Cena. I put that thumbnail up. Like a lot of other thumbnails had the tag match, had like him and Kevin Owens against Roman and Sammy. I just put John Cena returns. That's all to SmackDown. And it seemed to have worked. Still to this day, man, 20 years later, John Cena still killing it, you know?
Still a draw.
So yeah, this was my thumbnail I made right there. This was it. That was very simple. You know?
And you killed it, brother. You were essentially alone that entire show.
No,
Well,
listen.
you and the fam. You and the fam.
Listen, you were there, so you're part of fam too. And shout out to Kira, because just to show you guys real quick, these are how we do our thumbnails on Canva. Look, this is crazy. Like, you know, somebody of mine, but these are all our thumbnails throughout the whole year. And you can tell how they evolved and how better they got, and you know, you can tell the ones I made, the one Kira's made. But if you notice, all the ones that Kira did, like the big letters on the left, the guy on the right, we definitely figured out how to get our thumbnails good, which helps out. I talked to All About Wrestling podcast today, gave me some ideas and some stuff. Blacko with all the information on equipment, microphones, new camera coming this
What'd
year.
you learn? What'd you learn?
I learned from you.
No, what'd you learn from them?
I'm not telling you. That's going to make you better. I'm joking. No. I don't know if that's wants to be shared. I'll tell you after the show goes off. It's something I was going to actually tell you. I'm just using it right now, but it's, you know, it's weird. It's a lot to figure out, but it's going to help. I don't know, man. Any final? This is definitely our last show of 2022.
Yeah, you ain't getting me anymore today.
Yeah, I'm not getting me anymore today. Anything you need? Anything you want to say?
Just thankful. Thank you, everybody, for the support, not for this channel, but for supporting people on their other channels. It means a lot to me for the growth I had this year. I know I was speaking for Graves, where I know it means a lot to him as well. It means a lot to, you know, we got Savage hit 400 because of us last night. You know, anytime that someone comes in here and we show that love, you guys as a community show love. When new people come into the community, you guys are always welcoming. I know I may give you guys some shit like Daniel Price and everybody else about some of your takes, but there's certain things I'm passionate about, especially when it comes to like certain topics or things that are not wrestling related, just human stuff in general. But yeah, I thank you all. Even when we disagree, that's part of a family, is you not always get along. You don't always have the same opinions, but we appreciate all your love and support. And the fact that you are so accommodating to other people when they come in here, that's what makes the community strong. If people came in here and it's a brand new name that no one ever seen before, 9 times out of 10, you guys are all like, "Hey, new person, welcome to the show. Like, let's get to know you and have a conversation with you." Where a lot of times it doesn't happen in streams, and then someone joins and it's already kind of a click, and then they join the chat and say hi, they get ignored, and then they leave and never come back as a community. But you guys embracing people when they come in and it's a new name is what drives content creators and channels like this to be successful. So thank you all.
Yeah. There's Anthony's information right here. Please subscribe to Blackwell. He hit 400 this year. He'll hit 5 by end of January. Maybe before that. Like I said, I predict he'll have 1,000 by WrestleMania. And from there, I can get rid of him. He can do his own thing, monetize, and leave me alone. Joking. Look, one thing about Blackwell I want to tell you guys. A lot of people say, "Oh man, you and Blackwell go at it." That's good. You don't want two people that agree on everything. That's boring as hell. You know, you want a guy that's going to challenge you. You want somebody who's going to have a different take, is going to teach you something. Just because Blackwell's younger than me, I still learn from him, as I'm pretty sure he learns from me. He doesn't listen, but he learns. He's very bullheaded, as you well know. He's bullheaded and he's very set in his opinions, and that's great. I love that about him. He sticks to his guns no matter what. You can't sway him if he believes in something. He stays the course, and that's great about him. And I'm the same way.
That's why my parents hate me.
Well, my mother still doesn't speak to me to this day, and it's okay. I don't give a damn.
I tried to fist fight my dad on New Year's.
Yeah, listen. So if you guys, when you see me arguing, sometimes we're going to go at it. And sometimes I'm going to think his takes are stupid. And he thinks my Sami Zayn thing's stupid too. But I don't
Fucking
care.
awful. It's terrible.
Fuck you. I don't care what you say about that. How about that? Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Tony Kerrison, I'm bringing him out.
I don't care. And by the way, look at that. Yes. I've been working out, guys. Look, like I said, we're not going to agree every time. And I don't want to. That goes for you, Graves, Richie.
Man. I closed the stream out and I can't find it. Can you still hear me?
You're here. You're here.
I wiped my screen off real quick and everything's gone.
You're still here. Your face, I can see your face and everything. So we'll end the show anyway, so that's okay.
I don't know how to, but even when it's done, I don't know how to. I can't close it.
Turn your computer off.
What did I
Guys,
do?
for 2022. See? I tell you, wasn't that smart? You can't even.
Oh, there it is. There it
freaking-
is. I somehow created a new desktop. All right, I'm good.
What a jabroni, everybody. Look, guys, once again, I want to thank everybody. Whenever you've watched the stream, whether it be in the first of the year or the last of the year, we had a great 2022. Like I said, I'm very proud that I did a stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for every week of 2022. True story. I might have been on all the time, but the show was on. And you had great content from Graves, Ravish, and Ricky.
And your third favorite, ladies and gentlemen, is probably here, if not as much or more than the host. Just put it out there.
I was gonna put you last if you shut up. Big Bucks Bobby, Mikey, Kira, Jasmine, of course, everybody. Boom Baby who's made an appearance. Everybody's made an appearance on the show too. Thank you so much. Shout out to Dr. Von Death. He wasn't doing well. I love that dude. And of course, Blackwell, thank you.
Maybe that's a trick. Maybe I should come on less and just maybe come on towards the end of shows anymore and pick and choose when I come in. I'll move up in people's like rank.
You know Brock Lesnar. You're not special attraction. Okay, just
I might have to start making myself special attraction.
that's on you. Okay, I won't let you in. Okay. Anyway, no, look, the show was great. The whole year was great. And you think you hear more than me? Get the fuck out of here, crazy.
There's a lot of times where me and Kira held down a whole stream.
Well, I'm doing other things. Listen, Johnny Carson used to have Jay Leno as the co-host. Sometimes, that's so you could shine.
All right, let's not shine every time.
All right, listen, I think I've made you a little better than you did before. I think I've rubbed off on you a little bit. Yeah.
What changed?
No, I'm just saying, listen, I've got better because of you. When you work with people, you get better. I think you have more of a personality than you did before.
Maybe you haven't watched a lot of Tornado Tag or my other 5 shows.
No, I think
nothing has changed.
No, you're good with. No, I think it has. I think you've always had an edge, but I think you've taken yourself less seriously than you did before.
Maybe.
All right, fuck off. Okay, I said it.
I feel like maybe with coming on here, I have less stress when it comes to like worrying about things after the show is done. Where
right.
In my other things, I have to like, oh my god, I have to make sure I clip all this, or I have to make sure I put everything in the description and da. So that stress is a little less. But me as a table, I don't think I changed who I am.
Everybody F Blackwell.
So you're good. You're good. You don't got to change.
Oh, Mike sleep. You know what? Big Bucks is here. Let's have him take us out. Yeah, but shut up. Have him take us out. You know the whole phrasing? We'll figure it out. God, he's such a lazy son of a gun.
Hey Nation.
Hey Nation. What side?
Bobby, who rank your tantalizing Tony cast co-host in order?
Yeah, starting with me. So, I'm in it, but be honest.
Yeah.
Who's the? If you had to go and ask us a popularity
between Tony, the 3 Tonys and Ricky.
So go.
You won't hurt feelings. No, we made the whole chat do it earlier.
People pick Graves, so that's fine.
Okay, is this entertainer or popularity? What is that?
What do you think?
Who you like the most?
Oh, okay.
Who's most likable? Most likable. How's that?
Okay.
Sure.
Most
whatever the criteria is.
Yeah.
Likable?
Yes, most likable.
Are your favorite? Like when they're on the screen, you're a fan.
Yeah. I'm gonna get hurt for real. Who's your favorite?
I'm trying to think. You guys keep talking.
We're giving you time. We don't want to sit here in silence.
It's only a 2-hour show. I mean,
yeah.
Okay. I'll put Graves, obviously.
Graves.
Yeah, Graves is everyone's number 1. Killing it.
Yep.
It goes Graves, Ricky.
Wow, Ricky. That's a big jump for Ricky. That's a jump.
You guys last. I don't know.
All right. But who's last? Are we tied for last, or is there a clear last place? Tied for last? Okay. That means we're third.
Look, so here's the thing, guys. I will say this. Graves is definitely the innocent person of the show. He's definitely the one that's least tainted, least
I had him curse a couple times.
Yeah, I mean he curses, but he's the less jaded out of the 3 of us. I would definitely say that
for now. Until we have that live sex show at Bertucci's. We're gonna turn that kid out. Yeah.
That's right.
Just don't tell him what's happening. That giant orgy at Bertucci's.
He has no idea. The white van's coming. He's getting a hood put over his head into an undisclosed location. He has no idea.
It starts with a titty autograph, and then it's just going to turn into a full blown orgy.
Craziness.
Boom Baby's still coming, right? That's the star attraction.
Wow.
Bobby's like, I have to make Bertucci's now. All of a sudden, my plans have opened up.
I'm free that day.
Well, everybody say Boom Baby's coming. Oh, well, hey.
Oh, that's not nice, Noah. Noah said
no.
Ricky is 100% last. That's not nice.
That's his opinion. John Rogers says Graves, Kira. Nobody has said Kira. She
Well,
has
here's number one, regardless.
a co-host.
Yeah.
Kira, Tony Black, or Ricky. Oh, look at this. Somebody just asked me. Kia asked me, hey, Tony, when's your next show at Bertucci's? This Thursday, right?
Yeah.
This is this Thursday, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, before we go, hit this real commercial real quick. If you live in the Delaware, Jersey, New York area, and we'll come back and say goodbye to you guys. Check this out. All right, Blackwell, for the last time of 2022, thank you so much for everything you've done for the channel. This goes for Graves. This goes for Ricky. I could not do this without you. True story. I mean that. It's been an honor and pleasure doing this with 2022 with you. I'm glad I met you this year. Become great friends. You're like my brother now. I love you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Really do.
Appreciate you. We put a lot of time into this channel this year.
Man. A lot of hours, bro. A lot of hours.
A lot of hours.
Bobby, get us the hell out of here. Let's see. Let's see.
My music?
Oh, he needs his. No, we don't. Oh,
What's your shirt, by the way?
I don't know.
oh, this is my school, Shortledge Academy. Stand up. This is where I work.
I actually dig that logo. That's kind of dope.
Yeah, he's the Wildcat. He's a Wildcat. All right, we'll give you the music first. That's definitely not it.
Someone
That's
ordered a shirt today. I got a notification that someone ordered a T-shirt, so that was kind of cool.
Nice. What's up,
It's always
man?
nice. It's always nice when you get a message that says you've made a sale.
Happy 2023, everybody. Great 2022. Stay
And if
safe.
you didn't rank me number one, you can suck it.
Yeah, and please, guys, if you don't drink and drive tonight, if you're driving with somebody, make sure they're not drunk. Call an Uber, call a Lyft. If you have
Or
to wait,
just drive really, really fast so you spend less time on the road.
I meant to do this. Yeah, he just killed it. I just know.
I'm gonna get smacked this tonight. Follow me on
Smack-
Snapchat. I'm gonna make a bunch of stupid chat snaps. Snapchat is ABJ Podcast. Follow me. I'm gonna be making stupid videos tonight.
Don't follow him, guys.
You know, my
Anyway,
go-to thing to do when I'm drunk is I'll like is in a little. I don't show anything, right? First and foremost, but I like to do a Snapchat of just my face like this, drunk, and all you hear is me peeing in a urinal, and I just stare at the camera.
actually,
I don't know why I think it's so funny, but I do it every time I'm drunk. That's the content you get over on the Snapchat.
So this is Anthony's last day on the show, everybody.
I just got Mandy Rose.
Wow.
I'm not gonna show you my wiener, but you're gonna hear me peeing.
Yeah, we don't want you doing it like Sean's. Oh, sorry. Never mind. Get us out of here.
All right, guys. I thank everybody for coming in. Happy New Year. Don't forget to hug your family members. Pray to God, because I'm promised tomorrow, and do we
You
all
are
do
so
best.
robotic. I can't do that. Sorry, I can't let it happen. Guys, I just couldn't do it. Guys, thanks for watching. Guys, listen, hug your family members because you're not promised tomorrow. Listen, If you're Anthony Blackwell, don't pray to God because he doesn't pray. He worships somebody else. But listen, pray because you got to pray to make it today. And for the last time in 2022, do what all of us, and of course me, do best. Wait a minute, we don't end it like that. We don't do it like that. We do this first. We do an outro. You almost messed me up. Do what we all do best, and that's
Pound gash.
I won't stop till I wear the crown.